Look at these faces. Look into their eyes and tell me what you see. Is it life? Or is it just the slow, painful process of waiting for the end? This is Burundi, a land where the ground is lush and green, but the stomachs are empty and hollow. We live in a world of 5G, space tourism, and infinite luxury. But here, in the heart of Africa, time died decades ago. The world calls this a developing nation, but that is a lie. This is a nation in a cage. According to every global index, this is the poorest country on planet Earth. But poverty is too small a word for what is happening here. It is a systematic erasure of human dignity. When you land at the Bujumbura airport, the decay hits you like a physical blow. You see computer screens running on trial versions because the government is too broke to buy a license. You see children standing around a dead animal with no emotion because to them, death is just another neighbor. It is a hell that is invisible to the map, but etched into the skin of every person you see. Every street corner tells a story of neglect, and every shadow hides a soul that the world has chosen to forget. We are not just looking at a country, we are looking at a wound that refuses to heal, a place where hope is the most expensive thing you can own. Imagine a father waking up with 40 rupees in his pocket, not for a snack, but for his entire family's survival. Imagine a mother who counts her children every morning, not out of love, but to see if hunger took another one during the cold night. In Burundi, losing a child is as common as losing a tooth. It is a pain that has become a permanent resident in every household. I met a woman who didn't even know where her kids were. She just said, some stayed, some left. Can you feel the weight of those words? Some left. They didn't go to college. They didn't go to another city. They just vanished into the void of poverty. Here, the 21st century is a ghost that haunts the streets. People aren't living. They are merely delaying the inevitable. Every breath is a struggle. Every meal is a miracle. And every night is a prayer that the sun rises one more time. The world has turned its back on them, leaving millions of souls to rot in the silence of the hills. There's no social safety net, no insurance, and no rescue coming from the outside. It is a raw, naked fight for existence where only the strongest survive the weak. A mother's tears are the only currency that never runs out in this land of sorrow, and her silence is the loudest scream you will ever have. Listen to the sound of those tires screaming against the asphalt. That isn't rubber on road. That is the sound of sheer desperation. In Burundi, engines don't run on fuel. They run on human bones and sweat. These are the high-speed survivors. Men who load over 200 kilograms of bananas onto bicycles made of rusted scrap metal and wood. They don't have engines. They have muscles. They don't have brakes. They have faith. They fly down mountain roads at 80 kilometers per hour, carrying enough weight to crush a normal human being. They have no helmets, no professional gear, and no insurance. It is a sight that defies logic and challenges the very laws of physics. To slow down, they press their bare, calloused feet against the spinning metal tires. Can you smell the burning skin? Can you hear the vibration of the bicycle frame shaking under the pressure? They are playing a deadly game of tag with the Grim Reaper every single morning. If they stop, their family starves. If they slip, they are buried. It is a choice that no human being in the year 2026 should ever have to make. They descend through the clouds with nothing but a prayer, risking a catastrophic crash for a few cents. This is the true face of labor in the world's poorest nation, where a man's life is weighed against a bunch of green bananas. But the danger doesn't stop at the mountaintop. To save energy for the long, grueling climb back up the hills, these cyclists perform a stunt that would make a Hollywood actor tremble. They grab onto the back of moving trucks, 10-ton vehicles moving at high speeds on broken, uneven roads. They cling to the hot metal with one hand, balancing 200 kilos of cargo with the other. One pothole, one sudden break, and they are dragged under the massive, rotating wheels. The truck drivers don't even know they are there, and if they fall, the truck doesn't stop. It is a silent, terrifying dance on the edge of a cliff. They are invisible men on a suicide mission for less than $1 a day. Think about that next time you complain about your commute or the traffic. These men are the backbone of a broken economy, risking their lives so that someone in the city can have a meal. Their bravery is legendary, but their reality is a tragedy. They are the human engines, pumping the last bit of life into a country that is running on empty. Every mile they travel is a testament to the fact that hunger is scarier than death. They don't ask for pity, they only ask for a road that doesn't kill them. But even that is too much to ask for in Burundi. Home. What does that word mean to you? A bed? A roof that doesn't leak? In Burundi, home is a cage made of mud and broken dreams. Step inside one of these huts and you will feel the air thicken with the scent of damp earth and wood smoke. 10 human beings huddled together on a single dirt floor, sharing their space with insects and the freezing cold of the night. There are no beds. There are no pillows, just old, torn mats and the warmth of each other's bodies. They don't have electricity to turn on the light when they are scared. They don't even have a window to see the stars. They only have the darkness. When the sun goes down, their world vanishes into a black void. They sit in the shadows, listening to the growling of their own stomachs, waiting for a morning that promises nothing but more back-breaking work. This is not minimalist living. This is a slow, agonizing death under a thatched roof. It is a level of deprivation that the modern mind cannot even comprehend without weeping. Their walls are crumbling, their spirits are weary, but they remain trapped in this cycle because there is no door to exit the prison of poverty. For them, a house is not a sanctuary. It is just a place to hide from the world's indifference. And then there is the water. Look at that brown, stagnant liquid they carry in those yellow jerry cans. We wouldn't even use that water to wash the tires of our cars. But here, it is treated like liquid gold. Children, some as young as 5 years old, walk for 3 hours every day to fetch this poison. They carry it on their small heads, their necks straining under the brutal weight. They drink it knowing it might give them cholera or parasites. They drink it knowing it might be the reason they don't wake up tomorrow. But the heat and the thirst are more immediate killers. Every sip is a gamble with God. They cook their one meal of the day in this water. Usually just a handful of corn or bitter cassava. No oil, no salt, no spices. Just the raw taste of survival on a plate. We talk about organic food and mineral water, while these people are grateful for a cup of warm mud. It is a slap in the face of humanity that in 2026, a child has to die because he was simply thirsty. The irony is that they live near one of the largest lakes in the world, yet they have not a single drop of clean water to drink. This is the cruelty of Burundi, abundance in nature, but starvation in the stomachs. How did it come to this? How did a land so beautiful, so green, become a graveyard for hope? The answer is written in the blood of the past. Burundi was raped by colonial powers who saw the people as nothing more than numbers on a spreadsheet. First the Germans, then the Belgians. They didn't just take the gold in the land, they broke the soul of the people. They played a sick game of divide and rule, telling neighbors they were different because of the shape of their nose or the height of their body. Hutu and Tutsi, names that used to mean nothing, became a death sentence for millions. They planted seeds of hatred that grew into a thick forest of corpses. In 1993, the world watched on their television screens as the hills of Burundi turned red with blood. Over 300,000 people were slaughtered in a civil war that the West chose to ignore because there was no oil to protect. The war technically ended, but the poverty it left behind is just a slower, quieter version of the same massacre. The survivors are haunted by the ghosts of their brothers, and the children are born into a debt of blood they never signed for. History here is not a book. It is a scar that still bleeds every time a child goes hungry. But the land isn't the only killer in this country. Look at Lake Tanganyika. Deep, blue, and deceptively beautiful. But beneath that calm surface, a demon lurks. His name is Gustav, a 6-meter-long man-eating crocodile who has tasted the flesh of over 300 people. He is a legend of terror, a prehistoric monster that still haunts the present. Yet, the people of Burundi have no choice but to challenge him every single day. Look at these fishermen. Their boats are just hollowed out trees, leaking water as they row into the dark Dive. One man rows, another casts the net, and the third bails out the water with a plastic cup. They are floating on a thin piece of wood, surrounded by predators and a dark, hungry abyss. They risk becoming a meal for a monster just to bring home a single fish for their starving children. They are literally fishing in the jaws of death. Think about the courage it takes to paddle into that water every morning, knowing you might not come back. That is not a choice. That is a demand of an empty stomach. In Burundi, you either face the crocodile in the water or the hunger in your home. And the crocodile is often the kinder of the two. And yet, in the middle of this living nightmare, look at the children. Oh God, look at their smiles. They have no shoes. Their clothes are rags held together by dust and hope. But they laugh. They dance in the rain as if the water was diamonds falling from the sky. They play with sticks and old tires as if they were the latest expensive gadgets. They walk for 3 hours to a school that has no roof and no desks, writing their names in the dirt because they have no paper. Their spirit is the only thing the world hasn't been able to steal or break. On Sundays, they sing in churches that are falling apart, voices rising in a harmony that could move mountains. They aren't praying for money. They are praying for the strength to survive one more Monday. Burundi is a mirror. It shows us what we have lost while we were busy winning. It is a reminder that being human is not about what you own, but how much you can endure with a smile on your face. Don't forget them, because their heart beats just like yours, and their tears are just as salty. Stay grateful for every breath you take. Stay human. Stay awake. I came here to see the world's poorest nation, but I'm leaving, having seen the world's strongest hearts. Poverty? It's just a statistic, a number on a paper. But the resilience of these people? That is the real story. Burundi has changed me in ways I can't even begin to explain. If this video moved you, even a little bit, please take a moment, just one moment, to be grateful for the life you have today. Until the next journey, stay humble, stay grounded.